Do you feel like there's just not enough time in the day to get any studying done? Yes! Do you have work or other obligations that get in the way of your studying time?
Sometimes.
In this video, I'll tell you exactly how you're going to pack a whole day's worth of study in just a few hours. I've compiled a few key habits and tools from high-level software developers that have used these exact techniques in order to get into these big tech companies and progress their lives into the next level.
More money, more problems.
If you're serious about really leveling up your life and meeting those goals you've set for 2023, then stick around and watch this whole video through. I promise you, every point I've detailed in this video will give you exactly what you need to improve your studying skills. I know this because it's exactly what I did myself to get my first software developer job as a self-taught software developer. So let's get started. First things first, I'm gonna play a few clips and tell me if it looks at all familiar. Well, 5 seconds of studying was enough. Well, if you can relate to these clips and saw yourself doing these exact things, then you're not alone. Phones are the #1 distraction that are keeping people from doing exactly what they want to accomplish. You might think you can multitask and study while checking your social media or answering texts, but the truth is, phones can be incredibly distracting. Every time you receive a notification or see something interesting on your phone, brain takes a massive hit of dopamine. And it becomes tempted to switch all your focus from studying to your phone. But even when you're not actively on your phone, it can be super distracting just to even have it anywhere close by. The bright screens and the constant notification will make it really hard for your brain to relax and focus on the task at hand. So what can you do? One simple but effective way is to just throw that phone into the next room or somewhere or give it to someone who can hold on to it for you for a little while.
Throw this phone away, Lois.
Just so that you're not anywhere near it. This will help you stay focused and minimize distraction. You might also want to consider using apps or tools that'll help you limit your phone usage or block distracting websites. Speaking of apps, another key thing that top developers and students do is scheduling every single part of their day. Everything from what they do bright and early in the morning to when they go to bed. Scheduling your study time can help you stay focused and organized, taking the guesswork out of your day-to-day activities. One of the benefits of scheduling your study time is that it helps you break your work into smaller, more manageable chunks. Instead of, for example, tackling a semester's work of work all at once, you can break it up into smaller tasks and spread it out throughout the day. This can make studying feel less overwhelming and just make it a smoother process for yourself. Scheduling your work can also help you prioritize what's really important and what can kind of be sidetracked to the end. There's actually a lot of tools and apps that you can use to help you schedule your time and manage them appropriately. Here are some of the tools that I've used before and maybe it can help you for you. So the #1 tool is Google Calendars. I'm sure you've heard of that before. This is a free calendar app that you can use to schedule your tasks, to schedule your study time, set reminders, and create to-do lists. Another similar app is called Todoist. As you may be able to guess, this is a to-do and a task management app that you can use to plan your study time and stay organized. Another really useful tool I've used before is called Forest. This is actually a productivity app that will help you stay focused on your tasks. So when you leave the app open, it starts a sequence where a tree is growing, and if you go out of that app, the tree dies. It kind of reminds you to stay focused so that the tree continues to grow instead of kind of killing it off. By scheduling your study time and using tools and apps to stay organized, you'll be able to make the most out of your time and focus on your studies. Give those a try and let me know how it goes. The next thing I want to talk about are actual techniques that you can use to be as efficient as humanly possible. First technique I want to talk about is the Pomodoro Technique. The Pomodoro Technique is a time management technique developed in the 1980s by Francisco Cirillo. It involves working in short bursts of 25 minutes, followed by a short break and repeating these cycles several times. The idea behind the Pomodoro Technique is that short, focused work can be more productive than trying to work for long periods of time without a break. The Pomodoro Technique can be helpful to getting into that flow state because it helps you focus on one task at a time and it eliminates all distractions. When you're in a flow state, you're completely immersed in the task at hand and you're able to work at the highest level of concentration and productivity. By using the Pomodoro Technique to work at one task at a time, you're more likely to enter a flow state and achieve what you need to do for the day and achieve peak performance.
Feel the power.
To use the Pomodoro Technique, follow these exact steps. #1, choose a task you want to work on. #2, set a timer for 25 minutes. #3, work on the task for the full 25 minutes without interruptions or distractions. #4, when the timer goes off, take a short break, usually 5 to 10 minutes. Repeat the process for several cycles, so like 4 to 5 cycles. After you've completed several cycles, take a longer break, so around 50 to 30 minutes. There's actually quite a lot of apps or physical timers you can use that may help you kind of get that timing down and make it actually very useful for you instead of kind of focusing on always getting those exact 25 minutes, you can have an app or something else kind of help you with that. So just choose whatever works best for you and just get to work. The next powerful technique you can use is called the Feynman Technique. The Feynman Technique is a powerful tool used to improve your understanding and retention of new material. Named after physicist Richard Feynman, this technique involves explaining a concept or material to another person in your own words. This was a key technique NeetCode used to get into Google. What he would do was go into a empty classroom and basically just teach an empty classroom by writing on the board and explaining everything that he knows about the topic. And by doing that multiple times, it really reinforces the concept that you've learned. The idea behind the Feynman Technique is that when you teach someone else the concept you've learned, it'll identify the gaps in your knowledge. So anytime you're like kind of taking a break or kind of thinking too much, you'll realize that particular area you'll be weak in, and you can go back and study and tackle those issues. So when you're able to really explain a concept completely and concisely, that's when you know that you understand the core concept. To follow the Feynman techniques, follow these exact steps. Number 1, choose a concept that you want to learn or review. Number 2, write down the concepts in your own words as if you were going to explain it to someone else. Number 3, identify any areas where you struggle to explain the core concepts, and those will be the areas where you'll need to improve on. Number 4, test your understanding by trying to explain it out loud to another person, or maybe just like a stuffed animal, and just make it play that role of receiving the information that you're giving it. And number 5, review and revise any explanations that you have already gone through and be able to do it very effectively. So give this technique a try and let me know if it helps you at all. We're only here for a short time, guys, so you want to make your time that you have on this earth as efficient and as productive as possible. So you don't want to be wasting any time whatsoever. I've even used these techniques to make the videos for you guys, so I definitely practice what I preach here. And also when I'm trying to study lead code to get into these big tech companies, this is exactly the type of things I'm going to be using in order to make that jump to a higher paying job or a better job in general. If this video was helpful for you guys, and hit that like button. If you want more content for junior developers or any more advice on things like software development or kind of like the cutting edge on software, please hit that subscribe button.